So, Doc, Kolebu?
Yes.
I spoke to your friend, Dr. Mpoma, this morning.
Yes.
Doc, I think sometimes if you are in or with someone or you are in an environment, you appreciate why some things happen. I think for the ordinary man or someone who is far away, hearing that, oh, Kolebu lift is not working. If you imagine a lift in a commercial building or your house where once in a while someone uses, you might think that it should not usually get spoiled based on overload or overtime. But when you go to a place like Kolebu, at a surgical block where you've had this, they have two main things that sometimes contribute to this lifts going off or shutting down. Because of the volume of people, not even the patients. These lifts, look, these are the lifts that can carry, let's say, a taxi. You know, they are big lifts, especially me. And they run 24/7, carrying both patients going to theater and relatives coming to visit around the clock. Beyond this huge workload, which sometimes is without break as a machine, they also are, obviously, Kolebu has modern buildings, like treatment center, which has been built recently. When you go to the Benz unit, where Dr. Mpoma, the plastics, where he was boss, it's a new place. It was built. But they have some very old facets too, very old. And the surgical block is one of those very old buildings. Let me commend him. They've done some work to improve the facade. But look, when you are old, they can do makeup for you and give you good shit. But within, the system is suffering. So I think because it's an old building, the lifts also are quite old. They've been repairing them when they break down. But obviously, two things are on the table now. There's a plan to procure new ones. But when I spoke to him this morning, their lifts are not the typical ones that you can go to a company here and they do it for you. Because of the size, they have to make requests. I'm not sure whether it will be made here, but from what he's saying, they would be
from the manufacturer.
From the manufacturer outside and then shipped. But in the meantime, they are working around the clock to make sure that the lifts come up. Now, what he also told me was that as we speak, they attend to emergencies using the ground floor and other departments. I know I saw some reportage which said it will take 6 months to repair the lifts. Look, that is inaccurate. I think their PR mentioned that replacing the lifts will take that long time. I think 6 months or so. Whatever months it will take, Doc, what we can do at the ministry to support the hospital is to expedite the processes from procurement all the way to delivery of the machines. And we have a meeting on Monday with the CEO, the finance officer, works and all that. And I mentioned finance because, Doc, we also want to make it a practice that as a ministry, we don't only give support to facilities when they say they need support, but we also look at how they are treating their expenditure lines so that we see whether they are investing into some of these critical areas. So, Doc, when I was board chairman for Kolebu, there was something I told the PR department. They did it whilst I was there. I see that it is trending downwards. I told them that one of the reasons why big hospitals or public hospitals abroad are not bashed or are not, people don't fire them regularly, is that all the good things they do are put out there in the public. So that if on certain occasions something goes, Doc, out of the expected, you get sympathy and you even get support. Doc, but if you keep quiet, because this Kolebu hospital, whilst you are asleep, there are doctors in theaters doing amazing, how do you call it, procedures. As we are on the show now, someone has been rushed to Kolebu with surgeries and things happening. Sometimes they even do elective surgery. There are surgeries that are not emergencies to fix ears that could not hear, eyes that could not see. And when I was there, we made it a policy that put this out there in public, because my interaction with one of the biggest hospitals in UK showed that you have to engage the community so that if you have a challenge, they don't come at you. But in Ghana, with this lift, you hear people talk as if this community, it's some funny community. Their worth to society is either negligible and other. And I'm not saying you can't criticize, but we are human beings. If you don't tell me what you're on the road doing all the time, if you have a situation where the only time I hear about you is when you have an issue, you can't blame the bystander. I'm just.
But Doc, you fortunately,
yes,
you went to school in Germany.
Yes.
Do you think that, irrespective of all the reasons you've given, you were board chairman of Korle at a point? Do you think that in Germany, the premier hospital in Germany will have a situation like this? Because you see, if even one person loses their life, assuming that somebody's family member, as a result of this situation, loses their life or have a problem. Like Nana said, you will not be able to bring the person back. All I'm saying is that some of these things we can give reasons why it happened, but in the field of Medicare, we do not have the luxury of other sectors or other areas.
Doc,
you can have a temporal malfunction. It's a machine.
Yes, yes.
So maybe something happened, something triggered, and then
no. But it's almost. Apoma CEO has told me today it's likely to come on stream today. They are fixing it.
Okay.
So we are not saying it will take 6 months to fix the machine. I just gave you a background to appreciate why you might hear of breakdowns.
Yeah. So for example, if they say that we're doing a new one,
yes,
but a new one will take time. Everybody knows that most lifts.
Oh yes, of course.
You order them, but
yes,
at which point? When did you realize that you needed a new lift, and how did you prioritize that?
Oh no, Doc. In fact, this lift, like I said, I think the communication has created the impression it will take 6 months to fix it. It's not true. The assurance I have is that today it's going to come on stream. But I had to give the background because I think we've heard of the story some time ago that the lift has broken down. So you need to let people appreciate that. It's like having a machine that is like a operational vehicle at Metro, which doesn't go on, like it's not put off. Picks people 24 hours. If you hear that it's breaking down, people must appreciate what is coming. But look, you know the interesting thing? I've just Googled maternal mortality for Ghana. Google. You know, Ghana is about 263. 263 women per 100,000 live births die through pregnancy-related, conditions. You know the figure for Germany? Germany is less than 5. You know why? There is a direct link between the wealth of a country, where you belong, and what happens in your hospital. I don't know if you get me the connection.
Yes.
So, like I say, in Germany, if you see Korle experiencing this breakdown and all that, it's not necessarily, it's not only about management and efficiency.
Yes.
It's about, because Scano here.
So you see, Germany will not impose an NHI levy and cap it and use it for things other than health delivery.
Phyllis is here, Jabo, the few show.
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, I know, but
God forbid I could be a victim.
Yeah.
Anybody else could be a victim. I'm saying that what you're saying is right.
Yeah.
But there's no way that in Germany, either the government would dream or the citizens will sit aloof and allow for you to put a levy on healthcare and put a cap on it. And even the one that is uncapped, you also use it for other purposes. Look, it won't happen.
Look, you know, because I'm a health advocate before becoming health minister. I'd mentioned...
You're a medical doctor.
Yes, yes. But I talk about advocacy because I also push for things that have to do with healthcare.
Yes.
I'm one of the people, just like you, who said, as for NHIS, don't touch it with capping. The capping percentage, the first time we came to now, has gone down significantly. So if we were taking about 30% of the proceeds, it's gone down. I think now we are doing almost a single figure. I have to check, but it's gone down. But I remember one time in Parliament, some of our MPs raised a serious issue and said, throw away this capping policy. I remember Honorable Abina,
Finance, the Minister of State,
know what she said? Got up and said, the revenues we get, if you pay the salaries and you pay all the money you have into the dedicated funds, common fund, get fund, and NHIS, even money for fuel to run government machinery and to do some basic things will not be there. I'm coming. I'm just making a point. So when they take money from some of these funds, it allows them to be afloat. Then she said that we must be true to ourselves as a country. If they raise, let's say, 5 billion from what they take from the funds, what it means that we have to raise this 5 billion ourselves, outside these earmarked funds. And you know better how to raise funds, either through.
Me, I disagree with all what she's saying.
All right, okay.
There's too much. There's too much
waste.
Yes,
okay,
I disagree with that.
So, Doc, but you know, before we came, before MPP came,
yes,
and that's why if we do the conversation like that, we can make progress.
Yes.
The primary balance was not a surplus;
yes,
it was in a negative.
Yes.
Before MPP came.
Yes.
Now, what it means that the government expenditure, when you take away interest service, was more than what it raised. So, if you had such a situation and you want to have some breathing space to take care of your basics, beyond, someone can mention waste. I will not say that if it was in the negative, then there was waste there. No, but I want to make progress. So my point is that beyond we saying there is waste and other things, there is a problem in terms of balancing what you get and what you spend.
You see, it's for me. Look, you can't have a country where you say that, look, we need to take very good care of the health of our people. We need to take very good care of the education of our people. We need to, we have legacy debts in our energy sector as a result of a lot of things that we did. We need to impose a special levy in order to retire these debts within 3 years so that they stop strangulating us. And then you impose a tax burden on the people. And then you end up giving excuses like this. You end up not doing what those things are intended for.
I agree, Doc. In principle,
I mean, I'm saying that we should not.
Doc.
We should not even entertain.
Doc. In principle, I agree with you that once the funds are earmarked, and again, forgive me, it's not like I want to go back, but you know, funds, some earmarked funds, even were used as collateral to take money ahead of time.
Yes.
Before we came.
Yes.
That practice, together with capping, anything which encumbers on the funds, in principle, like with you, should not happen.
I mean, my point is that, you see, Doc, if, let's say, we take ESLA, and we say, look, we have a debt situation in the energy sector. It's suffocating us. Okay. Let's bring this levy or this tax handle, believing that in about 3 years, in about 3 years, based on the projected inflows, we'll be able to retire this debt so that at least we can have a clean bill of health and move on. And we impose the tax. And then we even decide that, look, even the 3 years is too long. Let's even use that to float bonds in order that instead of retiring the thing in 3 years, we can retire it within 6 months. And then use the proceeds over that period to pay those who have bought the bonds. And we do this. And we use the monies from the bonds for purposes other than retiring this debt. I mean, if you take the NHI one you're talking about, the issue of releases was there. We didn't get the 100% release and all that. So you always had the Ministry of Finance keeping some and using it for other things. Then we come and compound it with capping. It's not as if when we did the capping, the uncapped, we were releasing it 100%. Do you get the point I'm making? So we tend to compound it. Now look at all the tax handles, look at the tax revenues, the inflows and all that. Why should this thing still be an excuse?
Look, like I said, in principle, I agree with you 100%. But do you know that before we came, this government came, the Mahama administration, if you check the indebtedness, NHIS to the providers, there was a time that for 12 months, providers had not been paid. And that happened because of issues with releases and things like that.
Yes.
So I know Phyllis is here. We have some problems which are called structural. Because when you check, and structural racism cannot be fixed. They show up across regimes, Doc. So I'm with you in principle that don't touch funds you put up for a particular purpose. Because Phyllis is here, what we have to determine or discuss is to see how those who want to lead us, particularly when they've been part of the problems we see, are going to act otherwise to address those issues. For example, sometimes someone asks, what is the road fund doing to fix our roads? Only to be told that even during the Mama administration, it was used as collateral to get some money. So even when money comes inside, it's servicing some loan. Someone realizes that
the money that it was used for, was it for purposes of road?
Oh, Doc, I appreciate it.
Yes.
By always for purposes of road.
Yes.
It is similar, or it looks like type 2 money. The politician.
No, it's not. So I give you the example.
Type 2.
So no, that's the example I gave with Esla.
No, but Doc, if
no, you don't get a point I'm making. You see, there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Doc, I get you. Because your point is that it's still to fix road. But get me, the man.
No, just listen to me for a moment. I'm saying that I've put a tax handle. The tax handle is expected to rake in, let's say, 100 million cedis a year.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to do roads valued at say 500, 600 million. It will take me 6 years. But I believe that I can use that tax handle with the inflows to secure that 600 million today.
Yes.
To fix the roads that I would have fixed in 60 months, in 12 months.
I get you.
So that I start putting the road to use, productivity and everything comes in. And then for those who raise the money, they will be paid over that 60-month period. It's a smart way of doing it. But when I go and take that 600 million and I do not use it for purposes of that road, the reason why I did that, and I divert it into other areas, that's where the problem is.
But diversion is a big problem. But the other problem, which I'm bringing your mind to,
yes,
which the gentleman, your favorite video,
yes,
talked about,
yes,
is that imagine a roads minister who realizes that every year he rakes in, let's say, 10 million Ghana cedis for servicing of roads. Then like the man told you, then he realizes that in his last term or last year, he has 10 million to spend. But now he will go for a facility, which today gives him 100 million or 1 billion. And then you, the one who is taking over from him next year, instead of enjoying at least the 10 million that he was enjoying, still for roads, you are told that the only money that will come in, instead of the 10 million, is 500,000 Ghana cedis. Because the rest of the money is being used to service some loan. Meanwhile, that loan, the expenditure for that loan, has been contracted, procured, and given out in that year that is living. It's not like your diversion.
So that plus DDEP is what you are bequeathing to us.
Oh no.